Where's my sound at? Oops, sorry. I'm not getting any sound.
You're getting sound now?
All right. I'm not getting any sound, Matt. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on all of a sudden. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just settings, audio.
If
oh, I see the problem.
If anyone's already in the comments, if they can tell us
all
who
right,
they can hear and who they
sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
it's
can you hear me?
Problem.
Yeah,
it's not a me problem.
No, what happened is I turn my TV on, and it automatically like changed to the audio to the TV instead of my headphones. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? So
I'm sitting here trying to pay attention to you, and on another window, I've got bloody Grant Fetter's challenge has popped up on the Facebook feed. Have you seen that in Fanatics yet? With him with a fake mustache and a cap on. And
it's been a day for challenges. You know, if you haven't seen Ed Fisk's challenge acceptance to Kyle Poole in the Mid-Atlantic page, I'm not even gonna. I don't want to get censored here on YouTube, so I will just say, go over to the Mid-Atlantic page. It is not for the faint of heart. But I do need to check out Grant's thing. So, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about some of the great hobby stuff that you guys have produced. I did, Matt, I got a little list of a couple topics I wanted to chat real quick about. A little updates, and then we'll get right into it.
Plenty of time, mate. I've cleared my diary for you.
Oh my gosh, the doctor is in, as they say.
Yeah,
the doctor is in.
Yeah, I'll only be interrupted for a coffee delivery. So
that's right. Well, I just there's a few things that we haven't done our next fireside chat, so I figured there's a few things we've had a lot going on. It's probably good just to kind of breeze through that. Maybe some folks that don't Facebook in particular, this might be useful. But the first thing I want to mention is that you probably have seen Jordan Nichols and Nathan Arnold have joined the team, and really excited to have Nathan help us with the Lore Masters library and additional background and lore episodes coming down the pipe. And Jordan Nichols has really been great helping us with some hobby episodes. We've got another one of those coming out in October. And so just shout out to those guys. Really appreciate their assistance. I don't know about you, Matt, but I've been loving the Clash of Kings discussions. It's just enough whiny that it feels like it's Clash of Kings time, right? But to be fair, it's been good. I think for the most part, it's been pretty positive.
I think now people have seen it. The majority is pretty positive. It was, I have to say, it wasn't a pleasant read before people had seen it necessarily. I mean, there's still opinions and things, but whatever.
Yeah.
Seriously, let's roll with it.
Let's roll. I do want to mention that we have not recorded our fireside chat for November yet, so there's still time to contribute. We have the topic of the month, which is, are you a competitive or narrative wargamer? And let us know what your thoughts are on that. And right now it's on Facebook. I think, in December, when we do it again, I think we'll try to get it on the Kings of War forum as well, in addition to Facebook. But right now it's just on Facebook. So if you want to get in on that discussion, gosh, there's like 50 or 60 comments already. So it's been great. It's been great reading some of that stuff.
I'll tell you one of the things I dislike about the forum and our Discord and Discord in general. If you don't know who anyone is, like everyone's using fake names like it's 1990, and their old avatars and things, and I never know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, I have a rule like with Discord. I think my name is just Rob P, Countercharge Rob or something. Like I'm trying to make it like obvious who I am. Same thing on the forum, right? But yeah, I agree. It's like, who are you? I like it that. For the most part, people on Facebook, it's their real name. There's probably some people that have, because they're teachers or something, they probably have like a fake account, which is fine. But yeah, I like when I'm talking to someone to know who I'm talking to. 100%. So the other thing I want to mention, wherever you get the show, whether that's Spotify, Podbean, Apple, podcasts, Kings of War forum, the Facebook group, our website, Discord, ask questions about the different episodes and the comments, comment on those episodes. We're scraping that stuff. And even if they're pithy, we'll still read them.
Yeah, right? Maybe Rob, actually, we should, maybe we should, within the Discord. I mean, any of us can do it because we finally all got the rights into Discord, but maybe we should just have a separate feed for specific questions, a separate server.
We should maybe make one for topic of the month.
We don't have to read through everything,
Yeah, topic of the month, and maybe we do one for just general feedback for the show, right?
Well, yeah, we could do, because we could do topic of the month and effectively delete it and redo a new one every month.
100%. That'd be great.
Yep. Or it could just be a rolling one, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I guess also it's important to know, if you're out there on Facebook or wherever, please share the show. Shout out to David Musgrave. I mean, I've seen him posting our links to our show. People have questions, and he knows we have an episode that kind of covers that. So it's really great to see the community members out there sharing that out. In addition, we'd love to have a review, right? We haven't had a review in a while. So if you, wherever you listen to us, if it's, on Apple or if it's on Spotify, Podbean, wherever, give us a review. We have a lot of great reviews, but it's been a while. And that's one of the ways it really
stars.
Well, to be fair, I always say, like, if you like the show, well, I don't know about you, but like, I don't rate shows that I don't like. Right. It's a waste of my time.
100%. You just don't do it. But I also think a lot of people probably don't understand the benefits of rating for the show. So like things, particularly like Apple Podcasts, they will have most popular shows. So things that are getting more 5 high stars, it would help us come up amongst people who maybe already have a gaming podcast on their thing, that the algorithm will see it, or would make it a bit more likely to see it. And you just never know, if you get a new listener who doesn't play Kings, what might drag them in. So it's less about, say, it's not like we're getting paid, so it's not about our own success. It's about the success of the game.
Well, it's really, I think it's hand in hand, right? The more we can get the podcast into new players' ears, right? It's one more tool to help grow the community, right? So,
gotta penetrate those ear holes.
That's right. And then in terms of the podcast, we apologize for October. It was like overload, but to be fair, we had so much stuff going into October that was just sitting there waiting. And other than Jeremy, I actually don't like episodes that come out like 6 months after you record it.
Yeah.
Right, where they're talking about hobby or a event you did like 9 months ago. It's like,
I did listen to the painting little trees, and even though he did the new intro, like he obviously put something else in at the end that this was recorded, it was still much older than what I expected. Either like there was a lot of pre-masters chat.
Yeah, you know what? There's got to be like we got to copy like a PBS show or something where they do that, like. This show was originally recorded live on like where they have a more professional spin on that. That's for all of Jeremy's shows.
Yeah. Here we are with Jeremy Duval live on location.
But yeah, October was a huge month. I mean, I'm looking at the list here. I mean, we had our Clash of Kings First Expectations, which that was amazing. Like I think
liked the model.
People liked the idea, and people ask like why. Well, number one is we don't need the attention to the point where we have to just spoil stuff. We don't have to just read the book, right? That's not. And I don't know about you, Matt. Like at this point in my life, I don't. That doesn't give me a lot of joy. What gives me joy is finding new ways to present the information. And so we thought, man, what better way to do it than to pull people, that just not off the street, but certainly people that we know that don't have any of this pre-knowledge, kind of get their expectations and then show them the book, and then they can kind of share what their thoughts were, which is, it's cool to get that initial gut reaction when you see something like that. So,
yeah. And to be fair, like we weren't given any, we weren't given any specific instructions about like what to not or not. But I just always look at it as that, like certainly from my own personal point of view, trying to be respectful of that, like we've been given something that people can pay for, and respectful of the company and their IP in that situation, and that we don't want people to be able to just scribble down everything.
Well, I think too, it's marketing 101. You don't give away the whole thing, right? You give them and also you can add value to that information by providing some commentary on it. What are your thoughts on it, right? And a lot of the commentary we give is all too early, but that's maybe the fun part, because we look back and, retrospectively look back and we go, oh, wow, we missed the boat on that one. Because, and I will say, we're going to have a lot of that kind of talk in the November Fireside Chat. I have a lot of thoughts on where the game's going. And I'm just going to say this right now. Ogres are not in a bad place, guys. I think ogres are pretty damn good, right? Right. I like the people that are like sky is falling. I'm like, guys,
oh my God,
17, 19 ogre warrior hordes. Yes, I will take that all day long. Right?
Frankly, some of that chat has been just about the most ludicrous I've experienced in Kings of War.
Yeah. I mean, I get, I think at this point, everybody knows that we've, the Siege Breakers took a hit and they don't have the Merc keyword, so they no longer buff the Warlocks. They're speed 5, but they are 5 points cheaper. And if you were taking 3 Siege Breaker hordes, you know what you can do with 15 points? Well, you can pay for the Paymaster upgrade on the Sergeant, which gives him rally 1 for Mercs. And then with the command, you can give an additional +1, additional rally on another unit.
Well, and even the rally on the 2 or 3 regiments you're taking, that you're allowed to unlock your Warlocks that buff them anyway, right? Now
100%.
that rally makes the regiment
rally is huge, right? And look, what's funny is I was having this conversation today, and I pointed out to somebody that it's just like Twilight Kin. All the stuff that I was bitching about the Navigator, and pump, not the Navigator, but the guys that pump up the Elf Spear units. And they're 17, 19. And so we're like the same thing. So, and we're defense 5. So I'm pretty stoked about it. We'll have, I don't want to spoil too much. We have a lot of that discussion coming up. We did do an October Fireside Chat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was the discussion about whether we should be, Mantic should be still making resin models, either casting them or if they should just be 3D printing them. We had an interesting episode with Andy Patton and Jeff Bodine, who talked about their first Masters experience. I will say, if you haven't listened to it, it is very dense, like a fruitcake. So, it is hard to get through if you're not into the hardcore of the hardcore discussion. It's that Tom Robinson other level, right? Like it's, I'm playing checkers, they're playing chess. That's okay. There's an audience for it.
I enjoyed Tom Annis's comment on that. I think it was at 240k competitive 40k bros talk, Kings
exactly.
Something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But then we had the Scrying Gems got back together and broke down the book as well. Went through a lot of the commands. And it was very excellent, good. And man, the episode you did with was it Trevor from Data and Dice? Super interesting. I'm a data-driven person. That's how I work. That's what I do with my day job, where we take data to make decisions. And I thought that was really interesting. And I think it's the opening salvo of something much bigger, right? I think there's a lot more that we can dive in.
I think a games company could make massive use of proper statistical analysis, right? Like, I know there's a formula that exists, but retrospective statistical analysis could be very interesting in evolving a game system.
Absolutely. And then today, if you're listening to this live, we did release our Lore Masters Library episode with Scott Washburn as we do a deep dive into Broken Alliance. So, guys, I don't know about you, man. I've been loving the Lore Master Alliance, the Lore Master Libraries. What's interesting about it is I don't have to be on the show. I can just listen to them record it, and I get a kick out of it because I'm just sitting back because we already have so many good voices on there. I'm just being redundant. So it's really
my problem is I don't listen to them because the ones you've done, I haven't read the book so far, so I don't want to spoil them. So, but I believe that they would be very good for sure. Yeah, I'm still trudging my way through, and it's just because of timing, and often I get into bed and I'm not reading. But Rise of the Celestians, yeah,
right. Well, good timing on that.
What really I found fascinating in there is, remember the Sylvan King, and Florence keeps coming back to riding an eagle.
Yeah.
One of the Celestians does ride an eagle, and she's the one that is with the Sylvan King. So
that's funny.
So there's grounding in lore there for Florence's wish.
Yeah. And then Sunday we release the first of 2 episodes on the orcs. And people might go, why'd you make 2 episodes? Well, it's like 4.5 hours, right?
Well, yeah, and you've got to put out a good dirge for a dying race.
Yeah. But the other thing too is that people may not know is we actually have a hard limit for file size at 160 megabytes. And so if you're doing like a 4 to 5 hour episode, to get it down to 160 megabytes, like the quality takes a hit. So by literally chopping it in half, like when you hear it, the second part, there's no intro. It's like cassette tape changing and right into it. It's literally like it really is a second
around
part.
And put it back in. Yeah.
Well, it's making the sound. It's what we use. It makes the sound like you're flipping the tape over. So it's a great show though. Honestly, like everyone we do, it's just like better and better and better. And this one was just like, man, these guys hit it out of the park. It was Kenny Heisler and also known as K2 or Skullface. It was Kyle Poole. It was Sean Villamont and Brenton Williams, and they killed it, right? I would say we ended up maybe not recording as much on the background as I would have liked, but I still think we did a pretty good job. I mean, we did like 40 minutes on the background. But
I mean, I think you don't have much option with most of the Army reviews to get them, because we do aim for the 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't end up with much option sometimes.
Well, to be fair, like 4.5 hours sounds like a long time. I cut out a lot, right? Like we had like
100%.
6.5 hours of content recorded, right? So I was very, I wielded the editing knife swiftly. So, but yeah, I'm super excited to have everybody hear that. And then end of this month, we've got a couple more episodes. We're going to do an episode. I'm really excited about it. We haven't recorded it yet, but with Alex Chavez and Luke Fraser, we're going to talk new scenarios. We're going to go through them. We got 2 masters. Got to pick up that series.
They were some of my favorite tactical episodes from before, actually.
Well, it'll be interesting since they've had the scenarios for a couple weeks. They're probably getting in some practice games, but it's going to be all too early. But I'm really excited to hear, what is there, especially the progressive ones. I can't wait to hear how they're thinking about playing them. And then we'll round out the month with another hobby episode on basing that Jordan and I did a while back. And then we get into November, and I'll be quick here. Community building series. We're going to get back to that. We're going to talk to My Friendly Local Gaming Store. We're going to get into how he can help, or how he has been helping us support and grow the local gaming scene. We've got another list builder studio coming up. I'm mixing my metaphors here, but another lore master. I'm completely mixing up. I can't read today. I don't know what's going on, but we have more list builder episodes. That's what I was trying to say. List builder studio. So I've already booked it with Simon Brand and Jed Courtney. Wanted to get a couple more English guys on the show. Working on some English guys. I know some American guys, and I know you've got maybe somebody potentially lining up for an Australian too, right?
Yep, I do. So, I'm not sure. Have you got, Rob, there on your list our post about tagline?
Yeah, so that's another good one that I forgot to mention. It's not on my list, but we do have a poll up about, a tagline. And, we have been saying like, your podcast for all things Kings of War, or your podcast for ranks, flanks in Kings of War for 10 years, right? I don't even know. And we, over the years, had been offered, or we came up with a bunch of suggestions. And so we put a poll up. And Matt, you were surprised by the first one on the list. Like, it's got over 50% of the vote, which is basically when all else fails, countercharge, which ironically was thought about and created well before we had Firefight. So we didn't know that it would work in Firefight as well, but it seems to resonate with people. But go up there, give us your vote. If you have suggestions, who knows what the future holds, right? And there's room for more than one tagline. So definitely do that on the Facebook page. Hobby episodes, we got more coming. We've got an interesting episode that we're working on, just talking about how rule systems impact your hobby. And we're taking it from the perspective of both Kings of War and AOS. We've got a gentleman, very high-level painter, that has moved away from AOS into Kings of War for the rules. And it's going to be interesting to hear about how he is impacted by the modeling and the rules and stuff. Because right now he's been painting a lot of Warhammer models. And it's going to be like, okay, well, what is it going to take for you to move into other spaces, whether they're 3D printed or Mantic models. So we got that coming out. And then we got another new player perspective episode coming out. So we did one with Terry a while back. We've got another guy here locally that's just started. And what's really interesting about Josh, he's not a gamer in the traditional sense. He's never played, he's not really into board games. He wasn't a tabletop war gamer. He came in fresh. So this is his first, Kings of War is his first proper war game. Right. And I will say, November, we're also supposed to have an Ogre Army review, but We'll see. Because Jeremy, Jeremy, if you're listening to this, we need that. Get rolling on that big guy. Get rolling.
Yeah, he's been traveling a bit, Jeremy. So yeah, we'll see how we go. But there's plenty to talk about now with Ogres, isn't there?
There is. Juicy. In fact, I almost wanted to kick him to the curb and let me do it. But then I was like, I've done like the last. Well, I was like, I play Ogres a lot. My only 2 tournament wins are with Ogres, right? But I have done the last 3 Ogre reviews, and I think it's better to get somebody else's voice on there. Sure. And then December, we've got, obviously we'll have the year-end review. That'll be coming out. We'll have another, and I don't know. We need to talk about that if we're going to have a fireside, or really is the year-end review going to be the fireside for December? That might make more sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I reckon just I reckon we just use the fireside. So for that, but we know what Jeremy's success on his hobby goals are going to be.
To be fair, minor crap as well. I was looking at it and it's like I'm in a bad way. I just I don't know. You ever get like a hobby funk? And I'm just like, I just don't really feel like it. And I'm starting to get out of it, starting to feel it, but I haven't picked up a brush in a couple months. So
well, I redid my numbers. I went through and went like, oh, what I get out in this slow grow? Knocked out over 3,000 points.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'll go back and I didn't really do highlighting and stuff, so it's a little bit cheaty, but I will before they go to tournaments. I'll just go through and highlight on the base, do the whole thing.
And if you haven't started, get to reading Rise of the Celestians. That's going to be the Lore Masters episode for December. So as you probably know, basically we're going to do 6 a year, and it's every other month. And basically, it gives folks like 2 months to read the book, basically. And we're still working on that. Nothing's nailed down yet time-wise, but that's the expectation. And then in the future, we did put a poll up about Army reviews, and you guys have spoken. We have accepted the results, right? It's good. We're ready to rock and roll. So I know, Matt, you've picked up the Rhodia torch because that overwhelming. Yeah, and then I'm gonna work, and I'm starting to work on Forces of Nature. And I did put up a response on the Rhodia thing. I still like, it's interesting because I'm a Kingdoms of Men player, and so I was like, well, why would I play Rhodia when I could play Kingdoms of Men? And there's a lot of great feedback about that specific question. So yeah.
Oh, finally, someone said hello to us.
Yes.
My goodness.
Well, we were boring. We're probably boring. It's like there's been so much podcast, they haven't had time to say hello. They're too busy listening to the podcast.
True.
And then one more final shout out that I wanted to make is we do have Kings of Memphis 5 coming up in June 21st and 22nd in 2025. So I'm trying to get way ahead out on this. It's new player friendly. It's here in Memphis. We're playing 2,025 points. You get a free Bard character. And here I want to be controversial here. You ready, Matt? I'm in the United States.
I'm ready.
Command dice, yes. Withdraw, no.
Ooh.
First American tournament, I think, to say no to withdraw. I'm going to give it a shot, right? Yeah. So registration will open up in January. And if you want to see the player pack, we've posted it on the Kings of War, the Counter Charge Facebook page. And I should say the final comment that I have is, tonight we're going to do a wrap up of the last month of the Hobby Challenge. And we will have another live stream in the future to chat, our favorites and the prizes and all that stuff that we've promised to deliver. So that's coming. Wow. I just wasted like 20 minutes. But
it's not a waste, mate.
It's not a waste. It's communication. It's like, it's the town hall, the town crier, right? Just trying to
exactly.
There was so much stuff going on. Like
without a town.
Yeah. Well, it's just man, October was overwhelming. If it was overwhelming for me, I imagine it was overwhelming for a lot of people, right? Because they're like, holy crap. Yeah. There's a lot there's how many hours?
Speaking of vagrants. Oh, there's so many hours.
Yeah.
Heaps.
I love
it. All right. Now, should I figure out? I might figure out, make sure
I can. Yeah, while you're doing
share this without sharing everything else on my screen.
Yeah. So be ready Sunday for you Orc players out there. The first part will drop. It'll go through the background, and we'll start getting into the background, the model range, the history. We added a new section. We talk about the history of the army when it comes into the game and how it's evolved over time. So I think you'll dig that. And we get through, I think we get up to like the formation. So about half. And then the second part is going to pick up the rest of the units, and then we'll talk about playing the army competitively, in today's meta, and answer a ton. By the way, we give the shout out in the show, but I want to give a shout out to you guys. Amazing amount of questions for everybody that says no one plays orcs. More questions for that review than we've ever had. There was like 80 questions or something. Like so many. It was the first time I was like, well, you can't answer all these questions. So we did our best to try to combine. Like if people had questions that were similar, we try to bundle them together. So, all right,
doesn't
Matt,
change
is
the
it
fact
time?
That no one plays them.
Hey, I like orcs, bro. So I mean, and also it's one of the few armies that has a whole magic range. They make all the models.
True.
This guy's such negative. You guys, you got to make sure he's so negative.
Positive. Here we are.
There we are. Now I'm excited.
All right. Here we go. So, final goal. So we said, I'm not sure. I haven't looked through how well people were able to read. I was going to say that about your about the reading the books, Robs. They must all be the narrative players. We'll figure that out because we know that tournament players can't read. So
correct. Correct.
So let's roll. We said you could post your current month plus a picture of what you completed across the challenge, which I only did the current month with mine, to be honest. But let's have a look. So Adrian Scott, with more of his stone-based delight. I love the shields that he always does too. And so I think these are regiments of elementals, are they?
Are the shields? Those are bases, right?
No, sorry. So they're the he does anything that's defense 6 in this rock thing. So I think are they what are the defense 6 infantry?
The Iron Guard.
Iron Guard. Is that what they are?
Yeah, because Ironclad are the defense 5.
Oh no.
Iron Guard are the defense. Oh, you mean are they Earth Elementals?
Oh, no,
is that what those are?
Actually, he's talking their Mastiff hunting packs is what he's done.
Okay.
As
so just disregard everything Matt just said because he was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, just ignore me. Yep. There's got to be a first time.
100%.
Let's see what else we've got. Oh, little zoom ins. I like this. Oh, I like that. That hand, that claw.
That is super cool.
That's actually a modified Raven Rider.
The claw almost reminds me of like an Iron Claw from Iron. Is that what they're called? Iron Hands, maybe from like 40K, maybe.
So I'm not sure. So that's modified. This is all. Oh, maybe it's the whole body actually. Maybe it's just the head and the arm that's from one of the dwarf Raven Riders. So yeah, that's nice. Well done, Adrian. And there's a picture from behind with his cloak. And then these with the crossbows.
Love it. And remind me, those shields that he's made, he's taken a base and chamfered the edge with a hobby knife, right?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know on that. I don't know if he's answered that question for us before.
Adrian doesn't throw anything away. So I assume he's all about recycling. Must be an Australian thing. Waste not, want not, right?
When you live in the middle of nowhere, you've just got to do what you got to do, right? So, and Adrian certainly lives in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep going. And so this was his entire after 5 months. Yeah.
At what point is he going to build a new army though? Because in the past I have built very large armies, but you never really can play with all that. Like at some point you're like, okay, now you're just excessive.
Yeah, true. Like at some point you've done all the combinations, right? And probably half of which you'll never actually ever use.
Correct.
So we've got some zoom ins here. So this is, really
it's awesome though. I love his little units. Those are awesome. I'm assuming those are maybe Rangers, the guys with the crossbows, and because he had some guys with great weapons.
Yes,
in there
yeah, I think so because there's a few with great weapons. Yeah.
And those are, correct me if I'm wrong, those are not free dwarves. Those are evil dwarves, right? That we were just looking at. Those are
evil
Imperial.
Yeah. Golok. Yeah.
Golok. Evil. All right. I love the color scheme. And if anybody doesn't know Troy brought, was it a year ago? He brought a Nightmare Before Christmas army. So this guy makes some cool looking stuff, and this is no exception. I'm a fan of that. It almost looks like coral.
Yeah. Gives me a real 70s vibe.
Love it. Shagwagon.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's see what else he's given us. So he's given us a close up on the shrine. There's some pretty vibrant colors, aren't they? I'd be interested what range that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the guitars though and stuff playing on it. It's pretty cool.
The Cyclops dudes.
Yeah, the Thunder Seers. Those are awesome.
Yeah, and then this is the entire army for the Slugro. So he certainly would have knocked out the 1,500 points there.
Easy. Yeah, I also can't wait for us to do a deep dive into the stories and stuff that people have put in there, right? Because there's some there's some awesome stuff.
I reckon I think we'll do that on because we'll have to reveal the best when we've got Jeremy
we'll
so that'll have to be on our awards ceremony,
right?
And we'll know that we'll do maybe we should do an awards table, and even if America doesn't win the gold, we'll organize it by if you get the most awards that you can be at the top.
Right. Yeah. Oh, like Australia and the United States, UK.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Jordan, our buddy Jordan.
It's not fair, dude. I saw a lot of this army at a Michigan GT in September, and you know what? It's not fair. That's all I can say. It's not fair.
No.
So, Paige, our buddy Paige, does have a good point. We had so much content; it's probably a good idea to put it at 2 times speed. Now, I will say, when I listen to like English podcasts, 2 speed is too fast for me to actually understand whatever the hell they're trying to say. So I like 1.3. That's like just fast enough. I'm like, what is that? A Cockney accent? I don't know. And I imagine the Australians probably this Australian accent, like Controlled Fire. I'm assuming that would be the same problem. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What's
I generally listen to most. Yeah, I generally listen to most things at normal speed, but I edit it almost 2 times.
I do as well, especially when you're dealing like 7-8 hours. You're like, I don't want. I'm already going to be there a long time. Every second counts.
Yeah.
Okay,
and so Jordan's given us a close up here. It is amazing.
It's amazing.
It is
amazing.
Yeah. There's his flag. Guys. So, for the 3rd day of Clash of Kings, where there's a firefight tournament, Luke Schaefer's written me a list. But this guy, he's written me a list that's got over 100 models that I've got to paint by the end of January.
Do they all fly?
No, they don't all fly. Yeah.
Of course, he's going to save that for himself.
Yeah. Here we go. That's the full army.
It's amazing. Like, I pictures don't do it justice. If I'm being honest, it does not do it justice. I mean, you
got a little bit of advertising in the background too. Look at this.
You got a little GW,
yeah.
It's awesome. And Jordan and I have an episode coming out later this month about basing. We're going to go into a lot of stuff. He touches on some of the basing that he did there, and some of the materials he's used. So it's great. Oh, we're up to Paige. He's still doing the Mongolian thing, right? Yeah, I can see the top knot on the dude's head.
Mongol
so awesome.
Grim. How good's that? That is so
It's amazing.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah. I really like that page. Well done, mate.
Yeah, and now that it's available on the vault, I mean, shame on you if you're not printing out a giant, right? Like, why not just print out a giant? Oh, Abyssal Dwarves. Is that what those are?
No, this was still. Oh yeah, what is that?
That's. I mean, it's
no. So they're just. Yeah. That'd be dwarves in his Northern Alliance.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Smart though, because he's using Abyssal Dwarves. It makes them look a little more exotic, right?
Well, I was confused because you never see anyone running dwarves in their Northern Alliance.
Well, that's not entirely true. Travis Chim did run it to good effect. I think
they're good. I think it's because they don't come in any of the box sets, and it's just their normal dwarves. And
now that they've come out with a lot of the stuff on the vault from Vanguard, I think you're going to see, because they have like that spear levy kit.
I don't know. Think of that. That's a good point. I should print some out for my Northern Alliance.
Yeah. And yes, as Andy's saying, they're good chaff options. So funny story, Andy is like in second place in the Mid-Atlantic, as well as qualifying for the Southeast right now. So he's the next George O'Connell, I think. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
so Tony did 2,300 points of Free Dwarves.
Super awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I love that theme.
Yeah.
I wonder where those models are from. Have you seen those before?
Well, the Frost Claws are those. Though those are 3D printed as well, because they're like eagles, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, super cool.
And we'll keep.
Yeah, I'm sure this last month is full jam packed. We got some. Oh no, Rafa, is that Siege Breakers? Didn't you hear?
Siege Breakers.
They're no good anymore.
Oh,
no,
it's such a shame that you've painted such a useless unit.
Just take the Siege Breakers and put them in the second line. Like, just keep playing. Guys, they're still defense 6. They're still crushing 2. Oh, boohoo! They're at speed 5. You weren't charging anyways.
Yeah.
He'd already got the Paymaster ready to go for the sergeant upgrade.
No. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And just making sure we didn't miss anything here for Rafa. And then we've got, this must be what he's completed so far.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I'm assuming the two Croc Dogs or Croc Dog Wranglers probably, or he's using them to mark which units have Croc Dogs. And I saw he had a Kuzlo in there. So +1 Brutal, take the Mammoth for +2, get to 3 Brutal, get your Kuzlo in there. You're on 4 on the dice. I'll take that. Them some good dice odds.
It's Kuzlo. Oh no, I totally agree. And then we've got Jeremy Altman with an action shot.
I love it.
So what do we got?
It says Sonar
and a Storm Giant.
So funny segue. I've been listening to a lot of a podcast called The Token Professor, and he had a whole episode about that the Balrog doesn't actually have wings, and why it doesn't have wings, and why it's a metaphorical thing from if you want to really go deep dive, way too deep into Lord of the Rings, similarity and the whole thing, The Tolkien Professor. It's a podcast. All right, so we got some salamanders.
Well, I know you haven't watched it, but I saw some sort of stat about like 55 million views on second season of Rings of Power.
I don't have Amazon, so but I'm really excited about the new movie coming out though. The War for the Rohirrim or whatever it's called. It looks really great. Oh, look at this. So Paige was just pointing out that the ponytail is actually a paintbrush tip.
Oh, nice.
So ingenious. So ingenious.
So that looks like, some sort of salamander character with fire element. I love the fire elementals from Mantic, actually.
Well, he's probably using that little guy as a standard bearer to give him wild charge. And I'm assuming these are enslaved guardians. Yeah, so enslaved guardians, which look fantastic. Really, really great stuff. Scott's a nutter. Scott's nuts. Very cool.
Yeah, he's punches out plenty for the time frame, doesn't he?
He absolutely does. Hey, we're up to 10. I guess it turns out when we give people a little bit more notice, we get a few more people showing up. We only give people like 30 minutes, like, we get 3 people, but at least I think 10 is a respectable number, Matt.
I think that's respectable. We'll take that.
We'll take it.
We'll double that.
To be fair, we put so little effort into this, right?
Yeah. It's seamless. Chris Harper, what is it? He for month 5 pledged 2 Regiment of Void Skiffs.
Oh, did he not hear that
he had some
trash now? Trash.
Oh, no, I kid.
They're an extra 10 points now. They're 160 points. Right? Is that what they are now?
A little bit more, yeah. I really like this blue from Chris, and I love this bit of basing. I'm hoping that he's got a zoomed in.
There are 160 points for the regiment now. And Blood Hex is 10 points now.
There we go, Chris.
Well, that's usually me.
Injured finger.
Nicking myself with a knife.
But look at this tealy kind of blue. I love it.
It's awesome. Love it. Yeah. And the basing is cool. And I also like he's one of the first people that I see raise the boats up significantly, like they're actually flying, right? Not just like skimming the ground, but actually an airship. So,
and then that's what he did over the slow grow. So well done, mate. And these guys got better in Clash.
Which ones are those? Those are the Fleet Warden?
The Wranglers.
Which ones? Oh, yeah, because they have the longer range now, right?
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
that was serendipitous.
We're going to talk about that too. Twilightkin are still good. Let me just tell you guys, they're still good. The couple spammy builds took a little bit of a hit. If all you took was Impalers, okay, you lose the keyword for Twilightkin elf, but they're still defense 6. They're still good. And if you took all skiffs, well, you got to find another 80 points. That's it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
All right,
and it's still got Wild Charge D3.
Exactly. So this is Nicholas Mack. I love this, man. I love the basing. I love
the
first
orange
of all,
and white. I've loved the whole way through.
Love it. It's super cool. So funny is Facebook is bad for me sometimes. I'm skimming last night and there's a store out of Pittsburgh that was blowing out a bunch of stuff. So I said, well, what could they possibly have? They had 2-player starters for Kings of War for 50% off. So I was like, oh, there's my budget for the month gone.
What'd you get?
This is a cool set. I actually bought a box. So I bought a couple ambush boxes. And then I also bought just a box of Goblin Chariots, which is a 3-pack for $22. I was like, okay, that sounds okay. And then I got another Hold for the North, I think that's what's called, the Night Stalker Northern Alliance 2-player box set. And then I picked up another Firefight, one of the new 3rd edition boxes. It's not the newest, it's the GCPS and Veerman, I think. So,
oh, nice.
50%. Like, I was like, I mean, I'm a sucker for a deal even if I don't need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Story of my life.
Yeah. And then so that's his full production. So great effort there, Nick.
That's amazing. I love the terrain in the background too, by the way. Super cool.
So friend Michael Clark here, and we just invested in a bamboo FDM printer, and boy, you can punch out some stuff quickly.
Well,
compared to the
I think the bamboo stuff is really exciting because I think the quality is pretty good. And honestly, for buildings and stuff, I would prefer it over resin because the resin stuff does break, right? It's even if you use the ABS.
It does. We've had a couple of breakages. I like the quality because there's no lines on the resin, but what this is punching out, I'm not going to care. And it doesn't.
Well, it's funny you say that because there was a gentleman that responded to our October episode, and he brought that up. They said, "Hey, FDM's come a long ways." He had some examples. So if you're interested in using FDM to print some of the stuff from the vault, head over to our Facebook page and find the thread for the October Fireside. There's a chat going in on that. So,
so Daniel Bryan, I think he was doing McDonald's theme, wasn't he, for Firefight?
Yes, he's got he's got an RB. I think it's GCP, the Baja Blasters, which is Taco Bell, right? And then he's got these guys, which is the McDonald's guys. This is Plague. So yeah, it's super cool.
And this is it is really clean, isn't it?
He's good. He's a good painter. Yeah. I you know what is funny is like I can really appreciate like a high tabletop standard, right? Like I really think that's the kind of stuff if you don't really want to invest a ton of hours, just go for that. Like just real, I mean, I was gonna say simple, but it's not a simple paint job. He's obviously having to mask some stuff with the yellow and the red, but you have to ask him if he's even using an airbrush though. He might be an all hand brush guy. He's old school, man.
It doesn't look particularly airbrushy.
Yeah,
it looks kind of too thick for airbrush.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him next time I'm back in town.
All right, and then then a little bit of McDonald's chat going on under there. Joshua Edwards.
So he's the guy that's going to be on our new player perspective episode, and so these are some models that one of our local guys printed for Thule, which is cool. He has Coral Giants, and he has You know what? You know what the crazy part is?
What?
No, I'm not going to tell you because it'll make you cry. I'll tell you. He painted the stuff in like 2 weeks. Like he literally just knocks this stuff out. And you know what? For his very first army and the speed that he knocked it out, it's pretty nice, right? He's got Dam Busters and River Guard and Coral Giants and Thule. He's just, he's been following the I don't know what I want to call him, but he's following in Andy's footsteps where he's got the blank bases. So he's been playing blank base, and like every week, a couple of those blank bases get turned to real units. So it's been awesome to see that. And he's super, super positive. Love playing that guy.
I after listening to Painting Little Trees, I've bought a couple of triads from
Reaper, or from Army Painter, Fanatics.
From Army Painter, yep, from the Fanatics range.
I have not broken down yet to do that. I need to.
You will.
I will. The problem is if I start doing it, then I'll replace all my paints, which I don't have.
What I've got all the Vallejo game color, and I think they'll slowly go out for triads. To be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, Justin's man, he's
so I met Justin. I met Justin at Michigan GT, and it looks spectacular in person. Really great stuff.
Yeah, and this is the one where he's done 2 armies at once and then got the diorama around it.
Yeah, well, he had one of the armies that I keep messing up is he's got a Maison Labs. This is not Maison Labs, because I see orcs there. Marauders, excuse me, not orcs. Yeah. And while you're pulling up the next one, I see Paige mentioned on his cloaks that he's using green stuff. So back then he had cloaks added to the Abyssal Dwarfs to give him that Northern Alliance like fur cloak kind of look to tie him better into the tribesmen. So that's cool.
And,
oh my gosh, this
Justin's
is cool.
Obviously a paint fanatic. Look at that. He's got entire ranges there, I think.
Yeah.
So
he is a fanatic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that fanatic though, or is that regular war paint? That's war paint, I think. So I'm sure he's probably in the process of replacing it all. And he's always an airbrush guy because you can see the airbrush spray there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great. His armies were great, dude. They were really they popped. Yeah, that's a cool model. It's funny because when we look at the firefight stuff, I don't know the model range as well, so I don't know the sculpts and stuff, and I don't know like what's 3D printed, what's like Mantic hard plastic or resin. So I don't always know. But
it's one of the reasons I picked Night Stalkers for firefighters. Like at least I know what stuff is.
You know, I will put in the chat the name of the store. I'll put a link to the thing. I know they're burning through it, so by the time you get this, there may be less stuff available, but I'm going to put it in there. I'll dig it up right now, and I'll put it in the chat.
And then Justin's, everything he's painted for the slow grow, so that is insane. Look at that, Robert.
He is an insane person. Right now, when I met him, I actually think he only plays Firefight in Dead Zone. I think he only plays the sci-fi stuff. Got a buddy that came up from Wisconsin to the Michigan GT. So hopefully we'll get to see him at Adepticon next year. That would be awesome.
And then we've got Christopher's Empire of Dust.
Yeah. I'm pulling that link up.
The name
of the website is called Fabricators Forge. Is that right? I think that's what it's called. Online store. Let me pull a link up here. There we go. Miniatures.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to put this in here.
Russ, this month.
There's the link to the shop. It's a lot of Armada. There's Kings of War. There's Firefight. There's Dead Zone. There's just various stuff. Now, I'm sure if I would have went 2 weeks ago, it probably would have had more available, but this is what they got left. So there's the link. Whoa, this is Russ Barnes.
Oops,
very cool. Yeah, that's cool.
And
that's cool. He's got like a jungle theme on the army. It's really cool.
And then Jeremy with his Northern Alliance, Jeremy Bear. So he's done a good amount of this.
I like the different tones on the fur of the snow trolls. I think that's super cool. Where he's got like an off-white, bluish color.
What's interesting is someone in a local chat asked him about that, and it was pretty much his evolution of trying out the blues, which
that's awesome though.
Like
it makes it more organic, right? Yeah, makes it more organic. I agree.
So month 5 completion. So it looks like some regiments of tribesmen as well as what are that? The half-elf berserkers.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. And if we didn't see it, we got another Aussie on the line with us. We got Max. So Max, Max. I need to did Matt reach out to you yet to get you on List Builder Studio? We'll just do it live. We'll just not. Oh, come on, Matt. Come on. Got a plan. You guys gotta, you gotta talk. You're so busy. Gotta get him on there
too. So yeah.
Oh, is he? All right.
Yeah. Got to let a man move. He just ran a tournament. Now he's getting ready for Masters.
I'm excited about that. Benson is going to be running this live stream again. I'm really excited to watch those. That was a lot of fun last time. One of the things I liked about it was, what do you guys have? Like 16 players, I think. Or was it last? Yeah. So it's kind of cool because I'm gonna say only 16 players, but every game matters a little bit more, right? Because there's only 16 players. So
I'm looking forward to
nowhere to hide.
I'll play at the side event, and it's literally the only 2-day event I usually get to play per year. So
right,
I haven't played in a 2-day event for a long time. So
well, did you play in the Masters last year, or did you play in?
Oh, true. I played in Masters last year. Yep.
Yeah. What happened this year though?
Didn't make it.
Okay.
Didn't make it. No. So once you play a couple of 2 days, then you're much more likely to make it. That's for sure.
Right.
I love this white.
It's amazing with the Martian red clay earth. I mean, it's fantastic, which is a really cool contrast against the red against the white.
Yeah, it's not easy to do either. Like a nice white.
Yeah, I have a whole GCPS army that's all built, and I've just been lazy. I need to get off my butt and paint the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, and not fair. This is not fair either.
No, it's really great. Yeah, riot troopers are awesome. I mean, honestly, in Firefight, that might be my favorite range. Those models are dope. And in the sale, I did buy a mule, something called. It was 50% off. So I'm like, all right, why not have one of those? I mean, I have some, but why not have another? Right?
Does Ollie play Kings? Do we know, or is it just Firefight?
I don't. No, he plays Kings of War. I'm pretty sure. He's posted Kings of War stuff in the past. And now he's going to be like, I do not play Kings of War. You are an idiot.
Full army photo.
Oh, I love the tank in the background.
The light in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
That's super cool. I wonder, that's probably how he's depicting the difference between a ranger and then the regular conscripts, like the veterans and stuff. Because those are just like regular Marines. So Paige says that he's got his army finished. He'll get some pictures on Friday. That'll be awesome. It's funny, Paige, you say that because I have some demo armies that I've left at the shop because I find that it's really interesting when people like walk by the display case or like, well, what is that? And they're always surprised to hear, oh, those are Mantic Games, ogres or EOD.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Now that is not that tank there. That's not the tank. That's the yeah. So that's what he's done. He's done the black, which are all the Rangers. So that's cool. That's really neat. Almost like Urban Ops, super cool.
And then he said, magnetized, really useful box. That's exactly how I transport my armies, is in really useful boxes.
I mean, I have, that's how I store my armies here at the house. But then when I'm actually I have Magno sliders, the battle foam. So I'll just take them out of because the problem.
Yeah, I've got some coming from some Kickstarter at some point. So
what brand?
That as well. Can't remember. So, yeah, I'll look it up on the side.
You'll find out when it shows up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now this is David Musgrave. I love these bases. Yeah, he's got a lot of terrain crate bits and stuff on there. Looks really cool. I mean, it tells a story, right? Which is what we all want most people want from their diorama basing. So it looks like Paige is double dipping here. He's watching the stream and still painting.
Oh, and
oh my gosh, these bases are out of control. And I love that he's used the thing from Firefight, the Night Stalker.
That's the Firefight model, isn't it? Yeah,
right. The Firefight model.
For the list, that Luke wrote me.
I think I'm trying to think. Have they added those to the vault yet? Like the butcher bits that make them into the guys with the hammers?
No,
because
the bits they have, the bits they have.
So that would be awesome to add into Kings of War. I think it'd be awesome. Marshall Temple, he's back at it. Yeah. Well, I had to hear the lament. He's not a fan of the undead. So I don't know if we even did an episode on the Michigan GT, but I think we just did a live stream. It's been so much content, can't keep it all track. But so I'm glad to see him moving on. Oh, and you did some stuff. Let's see. I noticed you do it in like dark background, so we can't see the detail, so we can't criticize you.
Exactly.
Yeah, smart.
Exactly.
Smart.
So, Thane.
What's he standing on? Is that a tactical? Is that a pile of tactical rocks that he's standing on?
This?
Yeah.
Are you talking about this? That's just a bunch of lavender. Yeah.
Oh, lavender. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's flying over the top, Rob. See how there's a gap?
Yeah, okay. I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah.
Lavender, does lavender grow in the winter though? You're really breaking my immersion here, Matt. I'm struggling.
You said this. You said this. It's fantasy, man. It's fantasy.
It's like when you watch a movie, you gotta take reality, put it in your hands, and throw it over your shoulder, or you'll never enjoy anything.
Yeah. So we had 2 units of pack hunters and a unit of ice skin hunters. Okay, and I didn't post a picture of my full army. But
you didn't even follow your own instructions. How can we expect anybody to follow instructions?
At least I participated, Robert.
You know what? You're right. You're right. But I didn't say I was going to participate. At least I didn't do that. Box. Yeah. All right, we got some Reapers and some Tormentors there. Stuff. Yeah,
it's cool. So nice. That color, love it. Terrible bloke, but love the paint scheme. You know. Yep. Bit of a traditional camo look here from Tommy.
Almost like an American Army kind of look. It's cool. It's funny because I am with the idea.
This is our last one.
Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of getting into really paying up some firefight stuff. Go deep into the well. Like back when I never really played 40K, but I used to paint 40K, and so painting tanks and stuff scratches a really big different itch than a dragon or a phoenix. So
yeah. Oh, actually, Max sent me. I'm just going to close it just because who knows what'll pop up when I open Messenger. Max did forget to post his whole army pick, I think, at end of month. So
you Australians. Well, you know what the problem is? We post it. You guys are actually in the future. So when we actually post it, it's probably too late for you guys because you guys are a day ahead. Not how it works.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'll share Max's because it is worth sharing.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know what? Let me just say this, though. It's not fair to be that handsome, to have that pretty of an army, and to be that good on the table. It's like the trifecta, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the people that actually get accepted to acting school. You got to sing, dance, and
be a triple threat.
Sing, dance, and act. Yeah, triple threat. Yeah. Max is a triple threat.
Yeah, it's fantastic,
and he'll stay youthful for a long time. Just such a youthful fellow, And
I love the use of the horses, and he's taking the time to convert the riders. Like I think he took the bits from the Ice Skin Hunters, right? Now that's what he used, right?
Yeah, and I do like he also did go for the 3 different. I tried with mine to get the kind of downward facing wings, but I was having to hold them too long, and I just went bugger it because they don't quite hold as well that way originally. So in the end, I gave up and just went for the 2 poses of.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode on how to do modeling for you, so you can learn how to hold things. Let the glue dry.
Oh, I know how to do it. It's just whether I can be bothered.
I mean, that's certainly one way to misrepresent what I said, but sure.
Yeah, and does hold pretty true in hobby, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right.
That's an awesome army, though. I so awesome with the autumn basing. It's just like, it's cool. It gives me Osgiliath vibes. I don't know why. Maybe it's the ruins.
It does. No. I agree with that, and I think the color of the ruins.
Yeah,
because that's in the movies. They're that whitish color, aren't they?
Yeah, they're white, and I know that's more of a taupe or a beige color, but it's good. It's really good.
Did I actually, speaking of Lord of the Rings, Rob? Did I tell you about the Kickstarter that I backed, Lord of the Cats?
No. Are they like Aragorn, but it's an anamorphic cat?
Yeah. I'm going to share those on my because they're in my My Mini Factory now. I haven't done anything with them. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll spend money on that. And then I'll show you. Yeah, I mean the thing I backed, which was where are we? Share screen. So as far as I'm aware, I don't know if this is. I don't think this is a known brand or anything. There you go. That was the modular storage. So I got a small and a large one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. And then if we stop sharing,
it's going to be interesting in your review talking about Kickstarters because I think the only thing I backed this year was a wet palette from Gamers Envy. I think that's like their upgraded one. That's the only. I don't think I have any other Kickstarters this year. I really have been. Like that's the one commitment that I have made, which is I need to stop kickstarting stuff because I just end up buying a bunch of stuff I don't need. And I certainly don't need it like 9 months from now or 2 years from now. when it actually shows up.
Yeah, primarily I do printing stuff because often you'll find that they've basically done the designs. They're just looking to make their money back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, printing's different too. There's no actually, you're not waiting for anything. Those pretty much the thing's over, then they kick it over. And I don't know. I think the one that Jeremy, there was a gentleman that posted on a Counter Charge page that might be closed by now. Let me just double check. He had a cool small Kickstarter with only like half dozen 8 buildings, something like that. Thought that was really neat.
I'm gonna find you these Lord of the Cats models.
Yeah, why are you bringing that up? Let's see.
They were just pretty fun. Oh yeah, got all the Dead Zone stuff too when they did their mini, even though most of it was in the vault. Have you seen this?
No, let me see
all the terrain bits and things. That was
that's cool. Some conveyors and stuff. Yeah. No, I didn't. That was not part of the vault, right? That was like a separate thing on My Mini Factory, right?
Yeah. So this was on My Mini Factory where you get all the strike teams just at once, and they're organized. Yeah, you get all this terrain. All of this. So that was cool. But somewhere here is, I probably should have just gone to the bit where I could have just filtered it. Because everyone's
that'd be too easy,
hanging on with
right?
such suspense. Yeah, exactly. Oh, here we go. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Rat Ghoul.
I like the statues, right? The statues that are on the side of the rock cliffs. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Look, the death of Boromir.
Oh my gosh.
So good. Let's get this up.
That is so insane.
Up big.
Yeah, so I'm gonna copy.
There was a whole Kickstarter. It was so good. There we go.
We got 13 hours left in this Kickstarter, guys. So let's see if it'll do it or not. Let me see if it gave a big old crazy link. Let's try this again. Let's try it again. That one, hopefully that'll work. That's cool. Let me share my screen real quick. I will share this out of Kickstarter. There's a gentleman that Jeremy met at one of his events. Oh, that's awesome. Arigato. I think that's what it says, right?
Yeah. Porpin and Mary Purr.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Cat Delph. So good. Yeah. All right. Let me get mine off.
Yeah. So this one here, it's only got 13 hours to go, but it was designed for a specific board game, I think, that's from Frontline Gaming. But I just liked it because it's just real simple. There's like, if I get to it, there's like a couple buildings, a couple smaller like longhouses. There's a church and then a tower. It's not a lot, but what I like about it is everything matches aesthetically and I think it's like $40 or something, and you get everything. So,
well, actually, what I'll do is I'll just bring up Rob, even though, because I'm honestly, since this bamboo one, I'm considering getting one of the as well, because we bought it. I think it was the single feed one. I'm considering buying another one now because what it's punched out is so good. So Michael Clark printed this off our thing, and this isn't even at max quality.
Apologize for the.
Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's FDM?
Yep, and it's not even at the minimum layer height, Pretty good, hey?
That's pretty good, and I'm sure it's pretty robust as well. And it looks like it's done in 2 pieces. That roof, like there's a seam in the middle of that roof. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it might even be 3, but I think that was just because that's how it was divided. I think it would be capable, and then by doing it that way, you didn't need to support it or something.
Well, you probably can merge all the files if you have a big enough bed. You could probably merge it all, into one piece. But I like 3D printed stuff. In fact, for the shop, Mike is printing me a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it's printable scenery or the one that starts with like a TX something factory. Anyways, he's printing me a bunch of stuff, and we're going to be making terrain for the shop, get like 4 or 5 tables going. So it's a heck of a lot more economical, and it's a lot more robust than, I don't mind playing with the resin stuff at like my boutique event or at my house, but I'm not bringing resin buildings to the shop for people to play on, because those monkeys will smash it all apart. So I have been down that road a few times. I mean, those jokers get like hills covered in walnut shells and like 2 pounds of glue, right? Because I mean, if you can destroy, I am always amazed at what they're able to destroy. Like, honestly, like, guys, this is like you could shoot it with a 22. It would be well, awesome. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Just
thanks for everyone that participated.
Yeah, and still time to get in on the topic of the month for November. So go over to our Facebook page and jump on that. Let us know, are you a narrative gamer or are you a competitive gamer? I like the fact that that's a very open-ended question, Matt, and people define. There's two things I noticed. One is there's no definition. There's no singular definition for what's narrative versus competitive, right? Narrative in particular. Some people say narrative is really just like it's telling a story, but some people say narrative is, not competitive. It's anti-competitive. So there's that. And then the other thing is people also like took they took the questions and they thought about it, but in a lot of cases we're getting these like caveats in front of it, which is like, well, I actually don't play narrative because we don't play in our area, but I'm a narrative gamer because that's, it's like people are like almost wish fulfillment. Like they want to be a narrative gamer, but that's not actually the kind of games they get in. So I've been enjoying that. It's been fun to read, people's thoughts. And, certainly there's a bunch of people that are saying they're both, right? And we've seen some comments about like, what does narrative gaming look like in Kings of War? And if you're really wanting to go down that path, I would start with Destiny Kings, which is a little bit older supplement, but they have a 2-player asymmetric linked campaign system with like 6 games. I think it's Basilean and Forces of the Abyss are what it's designed to go at. And check it out. Completely not balanced, but totally fun. So you should definitely check into that. But more on narrative stuff. We'll have a lot more coming down the pipe.
Well, and the other thing that you can do narrative-wise is like an old Hex-style campaign just with different sized battles. Now that there's good rules for smaller battles with ambush and things like that you could have ambush level, medium, and going up to bigger, and that you work out some sort of. The problem is there's not really at the moment. You need a certain level of creativity to create it yourself, right?
Yeah, we've started on that path, and and like Vanguard could be part of it, but you can't play Vanguard competitively because it breaks down. So if you're playing it with a narrative spirit, which doesn't really matter if you win or lose, it actually you could roll Vanguard into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's not first edition. Destiny of Kings is actually second edition.
Oh, no. So before that, he said Hellfire and Stone.
Oh, Hellfire and Stone. Sorry. Yeah, I missed that comment. Yeah, Hellfire and Stone is also a very good one. But to his point, yeah, if it's first edition, first edition sucks. Let me just be brutal about it. Let me back up. I think, though, even though it's first edition, if you're still playing with the units rules that are based in second and third edition, I think it'd be okay. Because, I mean, the scenarios they lay out mechanically would be fine. And as long as you're using rules, command dice, that kind of stuff from whatever the current version is, it'll probably, and to be fair, if you're not playing for wins and losses, it doesn't really matter. You're just there to have fun and tell a story. Yeah. There's a few books like that. I mean, even Halpi's Rift has had some fun, some different fun. I wouldn't call them asymmetric, but some fun scenarios you could play as well.
Well, effectively, the legendary battle stuff is fairly narrative.
Exactly. Right? You have to really take it with a grain of salt and realize that, if you give it to the 40 key player like Andy or Jeff, they are gonna break it. Like this is why we can't have nice things. I've had to listen all day to Jeff whining about ogres, and I'm like, I finally said, "Oh, Jeff, ogres are still good, right? Like literally, like I would actually maybe even argue they're going to be better."
Yeah, because it makes you look at other things, and like if you look at, I said this to you privately, the stuff that got better, was effectively Steve Devenish's Masters winning list in Australia as well. Like that he had the mix of stuff, the warriors, the hunters with the chariots, and and all of that stuff now gets buffed with rally.
The only thing you lose is if you take less siege breakers, you don't have innate crushing too. But with the magical artifacts, with a Bane chant, it's not that big a deal. And you can still take
multiple options for multiple brutal now.
Right, and you can still take siege breakers. There's nothing wrong with siege breakers. You just don't get the buff, right? But there's no reason why you still can't have, Drain Life 24, right? With just take warriors, right? I do think it's interesting that chariots don't get the Merc keyword. It's like, why wouldn't you give them that option? That could be interesting.
Given that you never see them.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not give them rally too? That would be pretty dope to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, and because they're quicker, you wouldn't imagine it would be broken because they're not going to be near.
They're not in protracted combat
mid-game,
they're hitting and they're either crushing and moving through, or they're stuck and then they're probably going to get ground out. Which the grounding out part could be helped by rally too, right? But obviously they can't. Well, awesome. It's been fun chatting, man. We haven't done this in a bit. You missed our last one. I think it was me and Dylan and Jordan. We kind of went over Michigan GT. So if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch that. That was pretty fun. We looked at some of the tables and we showed some of the games, and we lamented my inability to beat Defense 6 because turns out when you have two giants, you have the tools to beat Defense 6, but when you roll Snake Eyes and you roll really poorly on the 2d6 bonus dice like attacks, Oh, we should give a shout out as well. I know that they've been working on he's been working on a new wiki coming out, so that should be launching this
October.
Week. Yeah,
I thought
it's coming. It's coming right around the corner here, and big shout out. We've been using that wiki a lot for the army reviews. So I know the Orcs, we used them heavy because he's got a great list of all the models are available, the STL files, a great background section. So if you haven't used that tool, leverage it. It's great. It's a wonderful contribution that he's making to the Keys of War community. So I don't know. What do you think? Is there anything else we missed, my good friend?
I don't think so, mate. I think we're pretty good there.
All right. And you want to take us out with the new tagline? You want to take us out with a new tagline?
What was it? When all else fails.
Oh, geez. Guys, not a professional. Embarrassing.
Yeah, because I don't like it. Why would I remember it?
But it's one of the few taglines that actually has the name of the podcast in the tagline. That is good, right?
And it does cover the fact we do firefight contact too.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, do we really do firefight? Because Jeremy only does like one episode every 6 months. So is that really covering it? Right? True. And plus, we got Luke and company and Mike down there. Like they're doing. But also,
we don't normally do the tagline at the end. Is that changing? Is the?
I don't know. That's a good question. So, are we going to keep saying like, "Thanks for listening," and until next time, keep countercharging, or are you going to say, no matter how dire the circumstances, don't forget to countercharge or something? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we'll change it up, man.
Getting spanked, keep countercharging.
That's right. Well, awesome, guys.
All right.
Orcs on Sunday. Talk to you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.